Hey guys, what's up? This is Mike Zagari with another episode of Entourage Live. Excited to be back, and I am ready to crush it this week. Today we're going to be recapping the Amazon Ads Playbook series. So we're going to walk through today how to do the launching campaigns, then also automatic campaigns. Well, why don't we go ahead and get started? I'm going to go and share my screen. And today we're going to be covering 3 different auto campaigns. These are the type of auto campaigns that we use with our management team. Now, there's other ways to set up auto campaigns, but we're going to go over 3 today that I think are the most effective ways. So let's dive in. Keep in mind that a couple weeks back, we spoke about the customer buying cycle, how to use Amazon ads during every stage of the customer buying cycle. In this phase, and what we're going to be talking about today is the discovery phase and the consideration phase of the customer buying cycle. Essentially, what we're doing is we're helping shoppers find our products. So we're helping them discover our products using the automatic campaigns. And then we're also using some of the different automatic targeting types that are a little bit more fine-tuned, like close match and substitutes. And that helps to help shoppers consider our products over the competition. So when you start to think about the customer buying cycle, discovery phase, which is more like top of funnel, whereas consideration phase is more middle funnel, and decision phase is more lower funnel, and there's post-purchase phase after that. When you start to think about that, all of the different advertising types that are available to you inside of Seller Central and the advertising console make a lot more sense. And then you could start to think about strategy and where you are as a brand, but also where your individual products are inside of your brand and how to leverage these different campaigns. And that is what the Amazon Ads Playbook series is all about. So we're going to go over these different tags before all the different campaigns, just to start to think about why you may choose to set up this campaign as opposed to like some other type of campaign or a sponsored display campaign or a product targeting sponsored display campaign, all of the different options that are out there. This will help to steer you in the right direction. Okay, guys? So also you can use these automatic campaigns in conjunction with launch campaigns. Some sellers turn automatic campaigns on after the launch phase. Some turn it on during the launch phase. Definitely helps to get more information about what you're selling. And it also helps you get that discovery about the keywords and the search terms and the ASINs that are converting for that product. So it works really, really well in that launch phase as well. Just expect that you could have higher ACOS possible, but that is not the case all the time. We've seen auto campaigns that are just absolutely crushing it with low ACOS. So just because it's an auto campaign doesn't mean you can't set it up the right way. You can't modify your bids the right way. Even do a little bit of negatives here and there to make sure that your ACOS is within your target goals. Okay, guys? So for those of you who are new to automatic campaigns, when you set up a campaign back in 2019, it used to be that you just had the default setting and that encompassed all of these different targeting groups. And that was the only thing that you could do. Now you can break it down by targeting groups. So the campaigns that we're setting up now are going to be broken down by these different targeting groups. So the first campaign is kind of like just throwing all the targeting groups into one campaign. The second campaign is going to be breaking it down by targeting group. Each targeting group is going to get its own campaign. And the third campaign will be a surprise, so stay tuned. All right, so here we go. This is the first automatic campaign. And here we have no targeting group specifications. So all of those different targeting groups are going into one ad group, one campaign. The goal here, you want to get that discovery with regards to the search terms that are going to go out there. Amazon's going to display your advertisement for various search terms and various ASINs, and we're going to learn about that information and we're going to harvest that. So these campaigns are golden to feed future campaigns. And that's a key point, guys. A lot of people ask me, do I keep my automatic campaigns running all the time? And yes. The answer is yes. I mean, unless you're running a really crappy ACOS or whatever, maybe there's a particular reason, I can't think of one, but this helps to feed future information and future ASINs and future search terms into your other campaigns that are going to become really, really important. They already are important, but even more so with like sponsored display product targeting. This is just intelligence. So you're asking, do you want to shut off your intelligence? I would say no. Keep this going, because as long as it's part of your strategy and you're not overspending on this, you're getting intelligence that you can leverage elsewhere in these different campaigns that we're going to be talking about. All right, guys. So campaign name, PPCE-Auto All. Now, the reason why Auto All is this is the type of auto campaign that has all of the targeting groups inside of one ad group. Dash product identifier, that's the name of your SKU or your product. Dash ACOS target, you can make an ACOS target of 30, 40, 50%. We don't want to go too much higher than that because then you're going to start to lose money. So you want to make sure that you have a reasonable ACOS target that is within whatever your profit margins are. It shouldn't be too far away from your break break-even zone. A little bit higher perhaps because you're getting that discovery, you're learning, but not too much higher. You want to make sure it's reasonable. But bidding type, dynamic down, which is the default type before 2019, dynamic down. We stick with dynamic down. We're going to leave this as open start end, minimum budget $10, and it's going to be automatic. Bids, you can use the average cost per click or slightly less. So if you have data about your products from previous campaigns, you can look at the average cost per click for that SKU and use that as your automatic campaign bid, or you can just set it slightly less or use Amazon's suggested, or start a little bit lower and then work your way up. There's multiple options here. There is no specific perfect science, but there you go. Placement modifiers, no, we're not going to use any for this. You can adjust that over time, but for the beginning of the campaign, no, you're not going to use that. Negative words, not recommended unless you really have a lot of good intelligence about your product and you want to use a couple of select words that help Amazon to know what you're selling. Like for example, if you're selling a wooden spatula and you don't want to show up for metal spatula, you can use metal as a negative phrase match, but you have to be very careful with this and make sure that you don't accidentally knock yourself out of competition for some search terms that might work for you. So keep in mind, guys, that it's good to use negative phrase match, but don't use it too aggressively, especially at first. Learn about what you're selling. Teach Amazon, what you're selling. Get some information back from the search term report, and then go in there and do selective negatives. Don't over negative either, because that can be a problem. Okay, next. This is the second auto campaign. This is one campaign per targeting group. So now think about this. The last campaign, we had all the targeting groups inside of one ad group. That could be good if you have some products that maybe aren't your favorite, your best sellers, but you still want to learn all about that product. You still want to get some information on those products. This campaign is good for your best sellers because we're going to be breaking it down to 4 different campaigns per SKU, and we're going to break it down by the targeting group. So the reason why I say reserve these for the best sellers is because if you have 4 different campaigns per SKU with a minimum budget of $10, that can start to add up quickly. If budget is not a problem, you can do this for all of your SKUs, but not a lot of sellers can do that. So I just want to help you guys with these decisions. If you have like 20 products and 15 of them are okay, you can do the other auto campaigns, and then 5 of them that are really good, you can do this campaign, which is a little bit more specific. And I like that because in this campaign, each targeting group is getting its own campaign. So it's 4 different campaigns. The goal here is discovery. And as you can see here, it says good for your best ASINs. Like I just said, specifics, 1 campaign per targeting group. And that's going to be broken down by close match, loose match, complements, and substitutes. Campaign name, PPCE-auto. And then you could put the product identifier, then do the targeting group, which would be the close match, loose match, complements, or substitutes, depending on what you've selected for that campaign, dash ACOS target. Bidding type, dynamic down. Start end date open, daily budget minimum $10, automatic targeting. All right, next, bids. You can do waterfalling bids to start, meaning the more precise the targeting type, like the close match and the substitutes, you can do a higher bid for those because they're more relevant, and a lower bid for the loose match and the complements, and then adjust them as needed. The point is you have 4 different campaigns. So you can do a waterfall type system where you're doing a higher bid on the more relevant targeting type. Modifiers, none to start, but modify over time. And guys, this is why you would set up your campaigns like this, because now based on the automatic targeting type, you can also optimize your placement modifiers, which is critically important, especially when you have all of your targeting groups into one ad group. You're modifying your placement modifiers for all of those targeting types all at once. But when you have one campaign with one automatic targeting type, you can modify the placement modifier just for that automatic targeting type, which helps to get more precise information. So this is why we're setting up this campaign, essentially, is to give that targeting type its own room to breathe, and then to do some deeper bid adjustments on placement modifiers, like for top of search, rest of search, and also for product pages. Okay, guys, so very important. We're not going to do anything to start, but over time, you can modify placement modifier bids to try to direct traffic to what is actually working. And that's why I like breaking it up like this. Negative keywords, not recommended, but just like I said before, you can use them over time selectively. All right, and the third campaign is the auto low campaign. So this is an attractive campaign to many because it also sometimes comes with a very low ACOS, because what you're going to do is set up an automatic campaign with all the automatic targeting types in one ad group with a lower bid price. And I'm talking like 15 or 20 cents. So this is good to get like some of the very broad match, leftover Amazon ad inventory type of keywords or ASINs, all that kind of stuff. It has its pros and cons. You're probably going to see a lower ACOS. The thing though is I've seen people that have gotten a lot of junk traffic where their conversion rates are super low So just keep that in mind. It used to be like way worse back in the day, but you want to be mindful of the junk traffic for sure. You're going to use a super low bid, like 10 to 20 cents. And you can name this PPC at E-auto-low-identifier-targeting group, which would be all -ACOS target percentage. Bidding type, dynamic down, open, minimum bid is $10, targeting, automatic, and that is it. I wish you guys the absolute best today. Go back and look at these campaigns and set up some campaigns and let me know how you were doing with them. Some launch campaigns, some auto campaigns. All right, guys, have an amazing day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye now.